Here's a little conspiracy theory. I think the NBA gave some of these players COVID. Are you done?
Yeah.
All right. Happy New Year. Happy New Year. Happy New Year. I know you've heard that plenty of times, viewers, but Happy New Year from the Out of the Berg podcast. This is our first episode of the year. Yes. How are my fellow brothers doing? And how was your break?
It was good. Still tired. First week back fully at work, and feels like I'm not meant for it. I don't know. It's not even like I'm not meant for it. It feels weird being all the way back. Okay. Like after being off.
What'd you get? What'd you do? Christmas, New Year's, anything?
Well, I tell you, but on New Year's Day, that's when I saw Spider-Man. New Year's Day.
We will discuss. I will throw that in here for us to discuss. I'll throw that in here somewhere. Yes.
Has it been enough time, or do we feel like it's been long enough for people on spoilers?
Look, they ain't watching now.
At this point, if you haven't watched the movie,
sorry, Sam.
Watch it.
You said my guy.
True Plus, all this stuff. People spoiling it on Twitter and whatnot.
Yeah, I mean, we'll talk about it. It's enough time. But yeah, Shamar, what you been up to? Because I know we bumped into each other.
Yeah, your boy came back home for the holidays. I enjoyed my time with the family. Got to see some people that I haven't seen in a while, and yeah, I bumped into Peter at the Bulls game. Shout out to D Rose, and I told you that boy different, man. We both different. Oh no. Look, you used to clown that nigga who's losing to LeBron. Now that's your
listen,
guy.
Man, listen.
Crazy
that was a pass. That was a pass.
No, I thought it was New Year, same nigga, right?
No, I did not say that. I did not say that.
Okay. I did not say that. You said New Year, same him.
Okay. No, I never said that. That was plus that was in 2016, whatever.
You changed a whole lot from that. You have, but your hatred for certain people ain't changed that much.
Listen, this is not about. I know what you're trying to do, Shamar, and we've had this discussion.
I'm not trying to do nothing. I'm not trying to do nothing. I'm just saying.
Continue. I'm gonna let you continue.
What was the story? Like I said, I was home. It was great to be home. Got to see my family, and yeah, life is life now. Got all my assignments for school coming through on my phone. I'm like, damn, back to that shit, ain't it?
I feel you. Yeah, so yeah, for me, like I said, I saw family. It was cool. Sean, Dylan, my mom. Got to hang and talk with them. I watched the Spider-Man movie with them. Just to watch it with them. So I watched it the second time. And then I went to Vegas. Yeah, that was the highlight. I went to Vegas. I got to Vegas. So the thing when I went to Vegas, I took the first plane to Minnesota. And that's when I knew America, every place is a bit different. It's like in DC, it was like clear. You could see skyscraper. Minnesota, there's a bunch of houses and snow. And then like the Minnesota airport was crowded. So I was like low-key scared I would get the Omarion thing. But I stayed in Minnesota for like 2 hours for the flight. And then then I got to Vegas around like 11:50, something like that, close to midnight. And next day, I took a tour around Vegas. So I went on the the double-decker bus.
Mm-hmm.
It took us around Vegas. I saw the MGM Grand, the Grand attractions. They had like a pyramid and the New York. They had like different like buildings and different architecture. It's like really dope. So I looked at all that, and then I wanted to go. They have like a Marvel museum there, but it closed when I was trying to go. And then they have a lot of stuff, like a Ferris wheel that you could look at and like view the city. So they had like a skyscraping thing, like a block away from my hotel. But I'm not gonna do that now in my life. I'm not at that point. I'm not Will Smith. So I didn't do that. But so I just went back to my hotel room and then I prepared to go see Usher Raymond. And when I went to see Usher Raymond perform, that is the best live performance I think I have seen. I've seen a lot of rappers. I've seen DMX, I saw Nas, I saw Wu-Tang, I've seen I've seen a lot of performers. This was the best show I've ever seen. Usher is amazing, bro. Like he's amazing. Like dog he can dance. Like people had to sleep on his dancing ability because he doesn't do all that the flipping like Chris, and he's not really like Michael, but dude is just smooth. hella smooth. And like usually when I record videos, I'm singing like full, like I'm singing everything. When I record those videos, when I like listen to those videos, I can't hear myself. And even when I was like singing, I couldn't hear myself because like everybody was singing along. It felt like you were in like not a cult, but like everybody just is vibing at the same time. It was like an experience. And dog, his stage presence, man. But yeah, that was a great show. And then I left, Vegas, but it was a good time, man. It was a great time. I enjoyed, my time in Vegas. It was good. But
yeah, no, well, I'm glad you liked it. From all your from your story, it definitely seemed like you was enjoying yourself. Talking about your story on Instagram, not the story you just told.
Oh yeah, did you see that what Usher was doing on that stage?
Mm-hmm.
Somebody wanted to argue today, and I was like, I'm not in the mood. Dude was like Chris Brown to watch Usher on stage. I'm like, sorry, he's a great performer, but hey, nope. What I saw was.
I mean, I think now you just gotta go see Chris Brown live so you can really compare the two. I'm not saying that.
I would, but I've seen him before. I've seen Chris live, like through. I know the nigga. I know he's been.
It's a different ball game. Give that boy Chris Brown his chance.
Listen, when a man can do a backflip from here all the way to here and not lose a sweat, the bad man. I know that, but to say he would wash what I saw, nah. I think it'll be. Now I actually think it'll be closer than what I said before. If they perform me, that's gonna be like Iron Man versus Captain America. It'll be that. I think it'll be that close. But yeah, it was a great show, man. I think. Oh, T.I. was there. T.I. came out and Babyface was there too. So yeah, it was cool. I saw Legends. Yeah, Legends were there. But yeah, that was my my Christmas break. It was cool. And what else is that? Well, actually Avery wanted to go drink with me on the 31st at the harbor, the MGM Harbor in Maryland, which is like 10 minutes from me. But I was so defeated when I came back because the plane from Phoenix, and this is a thing I always fear that happens to me on the plane sometimes. My ear. The thing with my ear started. You know that thing that when your ear goes up?
Oh, it popped.
It was popping. By the time we got to, I couldn't even sleep on the plane because it was that bad. By the time we had landed in DC, I took an Uber and he was talking. I couldn't really hear him. It was that bad.
Were you chewing gum too?
I should have. They told me that's a remedy for that, but no, I wasn't chewing. I was just trying to swallow my spit and like breathe in and close my nose. And it was horrible. But yeah, I'm gonna ignore that. That is a pause, but I'm gonna ignore that. Tomorrow. But yeah,
I said it.
But yeah, I'm gonna act like you didn't. I didn't hear that. Yeah, but I was supposed to go drink with Avery, but I told Avery, yo, there's jet lag in my ear. I couldn't, go. But shout out to Avery. Shout out to Avery. Yeah, but yeah, I had an eventful Christmas time and New Year, but we started off very eventful this year. Actually, I want to talk about something. I want to talk about this before we go into the other stuff that happened recently. So before we, around after we went on break, there was a discussion about Jay-Z doing the versus battle. He made comments saying that no one could touch him on stage, and like honestly, during the break, me and my brothers were arguing about this. Wayne versus Jay-Z was trending.
Mm-hmm.
And I saw a lot of things that made my eyes do this. So a lot of people thought Wayne would wash Jay-Z. And me being me, I can't see anybody washing Jay-Z. I'm sorry. Like, I'm not trying to, I don't know if I sound old, I'm an old head, whatever. I just can't see anybody watching Jay-Z. And I can't see it from Lil Wayne. So I was also on another podcast, Suave's podcast. We talked about this, but what do you guys think about Wayne versus Jay-Z? Do you think it's Wayne washing Jay-Z? You think Jay-Z washing him? You think it's a tough battle? I want to know.
I think it's a tough battle, but just due to I liked Wayne more than I liked Jay-Z growing up, so I'd probably choose Wayne.
That's fair. Jamar?
Probably lean with the Chris statement. I think it probably goes 50-50. Like, I don't think there would be really a true winner because in reality, kind of just like, well, it's up to the public opinion, and then that's already, I feel like it's just split down the middle. So it's going to be 50-50. That'll be very entertaining to see.
Yeah. Growing up, like, I'm with y'all on the fact that Wayne was when we were like starting to listen to music on our own. Yeah. Jay-Z was kind of like, he was always there when we were listening to music, but it felt like it was your dad that was putting you on to Jay-Z or your uncle that was putting you on to Jay-Z.
Every time I heard Jay-Z, it was only because like he was on like a Beyonce track or he was on the radio.
Oh yeah, like that. But the T.I.s and Lil Wayne's and the Rick Ross and Jeezy, that was when we were like kind of like listening to music on our own. Is that fair?
Kinda. I mean, like for me, like I told you, like YouTube was like my gateway for a lot of music. But like before that, the reason I know like a lot of these dudes is because like I used to listen to the radio a lot. Okay. So I just in different stations. So I just like would eventually hear like a lot of these guys.
Okay, fair. So for me, I would pick Jay-Z just because I think he has an extensive catalog, and for me, Wayne only has a chance because of his mixtapes, his mixtape cuts, and his features. To me, if you pick his singles that he did from his albums and you put it against Jay-Z's, it don't match well. He has to do the mixtapes and like the features. That will like really get you, because like really on the mixtapes, he was rapping on some of those Jay-Z songs better than Jay-Z. Back to me. So
when you're like judging the verses like on paper, are you doing it from like how like crowd hype, or like you just doing it from like how much you are like bar for bar?
So like originally when the verses was what's it called, like the pandemic, and we were all in our separate places, and they were like in separate rooms. It was song for song. So you just picked what song you liked better.
Right.
However, when the verses went to stage and you were performing, now it's about who performed the record better and what who connected with the crowd better with the song. So like the perfect example was Dipset and the Lox. The Lox just performed better. Even though some of those Dipset songs were great, they didn't perform it well. So the performance is what went. So if I'm looking at Jay-Z versus Wayne, it's like who's gonna perform better, but like what songs are gonna go against what, and how will the crowd react? And
I also think this is kind of like a bad matchup fans wise, because like you're gonna have fans that like aren't like intersecting, which is why like a lot of these versus battles work because they have like intersecting fans. So they'd be like, I like this group, but I also like this group, and so like that way you get like less of a bias.
Exactly.
But like if you having like a North versus South debate, then like people who like more like Southern music gonna lean towards Wayne, as opposed to like people who like more New York stuff gonna lean naturally more towards Jay-Z. And not to say like
right.
like the opposite can't happen, but less likely,
And that's why the 3-6 Mafia and Bone Thugs didn't work.
Yeah,
because it was too.
Which is another reason why it was weird.
It was too. And to me, 3-6 mopped them because they're about the damn crowd.
Mm-hmm.
Bone Thugs is a vibe, and it's a certain vibe. Bone Thugs gotta be smoking weed or feeling sad. Versus these dudes that are just hype on stage. And like Wayne, also you said North versus South. I think it's also generational because
yeah,
a lot of the kids that were born after 97 or 98, they were just saying some stuff that I wanted to just grab them and just be like, shut up. Shut up. They don't know what y'all talking about. Talking about Wayne and Washington. Oh Lord. Some of the takes I heard were horrible. But I also think it's that too, because like some of these kids, they know Jay-Z, but they didn't listen to Jay-Z.
Right.
And like that was a time when we were like the LimeWire era, and like everybody was downloading Lil Wayne stuff.
Right. And even like, and I know this isn't like a great matchup, but like even in my head, like maybe like a T.I. versus Lil Wayne.
That's
probably better.
That is
you know what I'm saying? Like same generation of rapper, same like they have intersecting fans. It would make sense for them to go against each other. I think I still have Wayne in that, but it would make more sense.
And when you know what, when you say that was a debate when we were in middle school.
Mm-hmm.
T.I. versus Lil Wayne was a debate. I remember my friend was like a T.I. guy. I was a Wayne guy. And we used to always debate. But at the time, T.I. had Big Things Poppin' and a couple other like bigger songs. And I would just talk about mixtape stuff and be like, nah, man, that's not. So like that's a thing.
Mm-hmm.
But I also got him on the features because Wayne was killing the features at that time. Wayne was demolishing features. But I think what you said's that one would be a way better one. But I think right now, T.I. ain't the favorite. Hard for T.I. That's too hard for T.I. It's a good matchup, but it'll be too hard for T.I. because Wayne got
that's what I'm saying. Like, I don't know if I'd actually do that one because I don't think it's a good one. But like, it would like just like era wise, fans wise, it makes more sense.
T.I. will have to play a lot of chess against Wayne because
he just had to play a lot of his earlier stuff. Is what he'd be doing. Which is fine. Like you gotta admit, like your latest stuff not as good as the earlier.
He has to make sure that Wayne
is too, I guess, kind of.
He has to also pray that Wayne pulls a Dipset.
Yeah.
And just
I think like stage performance wise, T.I. could probably do better than Wayne. I don't feel like Wayne gonna do a whole lot stage performance wise.
Yeah. It depends. It really depends on Wayne's mood. If Wayne is in that mood to destroy, T.I. gonna have a long day. But if he's just on some lazy, like T.I. could catch him. I see it. I can see it like that. I like that, and I think Jay-Z matches up better with Kanye.
Yeah, because they also have the intersecting fans, but you could also still argue like you could even go further back. I don't know exactly the who. like a solo rapper from the 90s.
Nas.
Okay, yeah, Nas. I almost feels too on the nose. But that would bring in heads though.
What, Nas and Jay-Z?
Yeah.
I think the only issue with Nas and Jay-Z is it can't be outside. If you're doing that, it should just be in New York.
Yeah, and then like I don't know, it just feels like wow, they weren't like it because it's low hanging fruit. If they do that to me, it's low hanging fruit, which is fine because low hanging fruit is still like ripe to eat. It's fine.
Yeah, it's only low hanging fruit because of Nas.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying. It's not, Nas is too low. He's a low key guy, and Jay-Z's Jay-Z's promoting himself as if Biggie was alive, that would be the perfect match for Jay-Z.
Provided his catalog was still
Yeah, if he was consistent, I may pick Biggie. I ain't gonna hold you. If he was consistent, I would. But I think that would have been because everybody else is like you could be like because even Drake too. Like I heard that. Yeah, Jim Jones said Drake would be the perfect match for Jay-Z, and I was like, that's kind of intersecting fans because there's some people that fuck with Drake and Jay-Z a bit.
That's so Drake's like whole range of fans is so broad.
That's what I'm saying, but it will intercept a bit.
Yeah. But
then it doesn't because Drake, there are people that really just vibe to Drake and they don't really know Jay like that.
That's what I'm saying. Like you probably got some 5-year-olds listening to Drake and never heard of Jay-Z. Not to say the 5-year-olds be voting for it, but it's just like it'd be like that. Like it'd be like that big of a difference. Yeah.
I mean, even with that, I'd still pick Jay, but I don't know. That don't make sense too. Because what if he play an R&B record? What Jay-Z gonna play? Beyonce? Like, Shamar, what do you think?
When it comes to Jay and Wayne, I mean, but you guys already hit it. It really kind of like it'll be a dope matchup just because like those are two like great performers. But at the end of the day, they really won't like the crowd wouldn't mesh together because, like Chris said, I mean, you got a guy from New York and a guy from the South. So it's like, all right, unless you're a true unless you really love like hip hop like that, you really won't get like the kind of vibe you really want. If it was Wayne and T.I., then like you kind of get that close demographic because like Southern music, and they gonna be like, all right, this is our shit. But the way Wayne is now, I mean, it would have to be like kind of like the quarantine versus where like you just play your song and you just gotta rock with it because I don't see Wayne performing the way he is now. Like you're not gonna get that high energy Wayne like that you got like when we was in high school and middle school. Like you're not getting that Wayne. He done too many drugs. Like his mind's not there. I feel like completely. Like he still can make good music and shit, but that's it. And then I mean Drake washes Jay-Z easy, but that's neither here nor there.
I thought I was gonna get some objective, but I get this. Oh god.
I mean, you look, Drake gonna pay something great, and then Jay-Z gonna be sitting on a high stool chair rapping and shit. And people are like, bro, if you don't get up and perform for us, niggas, like, come on. And Drake gonna have the crowd hype and be like, we gonna rock with the light skinned nigga. I'm like, damn, why you rocking with the light skinned nigga? Am I not speaking facts right now? Because that's exactly how I feel.
Straight facts.
Come on now, talk to me, Chris. Chris understands. Chris knows. It's no.
See, I know what y'all trying to do right now.
What are we trying to do?
Good move. Jay-Z.
Chris, are you trying to do something right now?
What happened?
Yeah, do you hear them? You hear this? You hear this? Huh? I know what y'all trying to do. Listen.
Chris, I'm not trying to do anything. Are you trying to do anything?
Nah. What y'all trying to do? And we're not doing that today. We're not doing that today.
All right. I don't know what
we're not doing it. We're not doing that today, okay?
All right, calm down. But man. No need to yell.
Jay-Z ain't getting washed by Arbery Graham, okay? Arbery Graham is fire. He's dope. He makes great songs, but
clip that, Chris.
Yeah. Clip it. Drake. I like Drake songs.
No, and that's gonna be my ringtone because you ain't never gonna hear us speak this highly of Drake ever again.
I always speak highly of Drake, but you guys just like it when you guys just take the negative stuff I say about him because that's the funny stuff I say about him. And I'm not gonna take that back.
Chris, make sure you clip that. I want that. I want that on tape because anytime he says something about Drake, I'm gonna play that every time. Like, oh no, don't go backtracking.
No, I'm not backtracking. Take Care and Nothing Was the Same are great albums. Considerably classics. What's it called? What's that song about Drake?
They're all great. Don't matter.
Show Me a Good Time used to be my song. We'll Be Fine.
Too many albums, too many songs. Look, it's just too many. It's just too many to know. It's fine. Exactly. It's just,
But there's one specific record, if he plays against Jay-Z. I'm trying to think of the record.
It's all of them.
Rap. I can't forget the record, but if he plays that against Jay, I'm like, ooh. Was it Dreams Money Can Buy? No, Dreams Money Can Buy. No, 5-8. It's the AM PM records. Boy, if Drake pulls that out, ooh,
it's all of them. It's every song, every record, every single, every mixtape.
If he pulls the 4 p.m. in Calabasas, 5 a.m. in Toronto, Dreams Money Can Buy. If Drake gets into that bag, Jay-Z, I'll be entertained. I still think Jay-Z has some material that could box that, but that'd be entertaining. I ain't gonna hold you. Because that Drake I'm a fan of. The Good Ones Go and what Come Through, that Drake. But yeah. Yeah. But you can be on the Drake bandwagon, Shamar. I'm not gonna hold you.
I'm driving the bus, just know.
Yeah, OVO needs to give you a check.
Yeah, they do.
But speaking of people that kind of blow their checks and are idiots, Antonio Brown. I was gonna give him Bozo of the Week, but I changed my mind. And he deserves it after the stuff I heard today. But last weekend he had a fit and left the field. Was doing a lot of antics, was celebrating in front of fans, like doing jumping jacks and
in the end zone.
In the end zone, and walking off the field, whatever. And then they said, well, the reporters that he quit on the team. Then he countered and said, no, I didn't quit. I was hurt and I wanted to get off, and they cut me. Now his coach is saying that's not what happened. He was upset about not getting targets and whatever. He was, received the diva receiver, typical diva receiver stuff. And then today, we hear stuff about what he said about Tom Brady. That Tom Brady is his friend, but Tom Brady is only there because he needs guys like him to catch the ball, and he wasn't sure if Tom Brady was a genuine friend. Wasn't sure if Tom Brady was a genuine friend. This is what this guy is saying. Before I give my analysis of this, Chris, Shamar, anything you want to say?
Well, prayer's always been out for AB. Because, regardless of the situation, brother's clearly been going through a lot of stuff. It's been clear since it's been clear like before he left the Steelers. I also seen, I didn't read through all of it because it was a lot. I seen where he was talking about like where he had hurt his ankle or something.
Yep.
And I read through a little bit of that. I didn't read through it all. So I'm gonna just leave it short and simple. Just prayers out for him, and I guess his ability to tell when people are conducting business and or trying to be actual friends, because there's such thing as a business friend as opposed to a real friend.
Smart, because Chris is very compassionate and nice. Smart,
I am.
You can go.
I mean, he did it to himself. Not being as compassionate as Chris. There's definitely prayers up because something is wrong with them. And I really think, I think almost everybody that kind of watches football thinks they all happened after he got knocked out by Vontaze Burfict in the playoff. And that was kind of
a big hit.
And that was a dirty hit. It wasn't like one of those clean football hits that just so happened to end up going badly. It was a dirty hit. But since then, I mean, he acted out everywhere he went. Steelers acted out. Raiders acted out. Now he's acting out. It's like he's doing it to himself. And there's a way to go about it. you said, like there's reports that like I mean it was he said she said, and everybody was like, yeah, AB like he ain't lying about this. I'm like, nah, like one we were talking about this in the group chat. He wasn't on the injury report for his ankle injury, and like in the NFL, you have to like no matter if like it's the smallest ankle injury, you're on the injury report just so like it's more in terms of, like the NFL covering their ass and teams covering their ass and like gambling purposes. Where it's like, well, people that are betting big money on games, like you kind of need to know on whether I should bet on this player or not. So he wasn't on it at all. And then like I think when it kind of comes to the targets, like he has all these incentives in his contract, like, oh, if you get this many touchdowns, this many catches, this many yardage, you get like this, you get bonuses. And I mean, he had this past weekend, and then this weekend, if he was still on the team to get those bonuses, and it wasn't anything crazy. It was like he had to get 2 more touchdowns, 8 more catches, and like 100 yards. Which for him in that offense now, because they had no other good receivers due to injuries, like that's you. Like you can easily attain that. But then people fail to realize he missed 3 games because of the fake vaccine card. So think about it. If you would have played those 3 games, we wouldn't be in this situation now. You would have been got your money. Like, so it's like, it's like, and I guess the act, and like, it's fine. Like, you wouldn't have a temper tantrum. Like, he wouldn't be the first player to like quit mid game. Like, the thing that happened last year with the player on the Broncos who just quit at halftime. He was like, I'm done playing. He retired. Like, he retired from the game.
Yeah, he retired.
Yeah, no, but it was more out of frustration. So it was like, well, I'm quitting on the team, so I'm gonna just say I'm retired and whatever. Hey, and it is what it is. But at least like with that one, it's like, yeah, I mean, you're quitting on the people that you're going to war with, but at least like there's no theatrics. I think the biggest thing with this one is like, right, you went through all the theatrics of throwing your jersey and stuff into the crowd and shit. It's like, if you really quit, right, just walk away. But at the same time, I mean, that's his personality. He's like a super outgoing person, and the shit he's talking now, it's like, bro, I think you needed Tom Brady more than Tom, because Tom Brady made people realize, oh, you can still ball. Like when he was on the Raiders, like people were like, I mean, you had a good quarterback in Big Ben. Derek Carr's not the best quarterback, so how you finna act? And then you started not doing as well. You started acting out, and then you got cut. And then you came to the Bucs, and like it's not like you was the number 1 star, but like you was like, oh, AB maybe might be back on the swing of things, but like, he fucked it up. And honestly, he probably would never play down football in the NFL again. And that's the sad part about it. He probably won't.
So talented, but they always say sometimes the talented just waste talent. Now, I preference my comments by saying this. I am an advocate for mental health. I've went to see a therapist before. I don't clown people that go through mental health issues. It's serious. It's an issue that affects a lot of people. And prayers out to him for real. I don't hate the brother. I actually want the dude to be successful. I think he's one of the most talented receivers ever to play the game. Ever. For his size, what he did in Pittsburgh, he's like 5'11", isn't he? Like 6 feet?
I think he's smaller than that.
Like he's putting up Megatron numbers, and Megatron was 6'6".
Yeah.
Like phenomenal. However, I don't care what. There's like, you know what you're doing. You know what you're doing. I'm tired of people saying, "Oh man, da, da, da." He knows what he's doing. Now
5'10".
5'10". 5'10". So about my
5'10" in cleats.
Okay. So he's probably shorter than me.
Yeah, he's around that. But either way, he's still great.
Yeah.
But like, let's go back. You get caught with a fake vaccination card, right? Fine, you shouldn't have that, right? You guys know that the reason why he got caught is because he didn't pay his chef.
Yeah.
Wow, and you see, and it's like, first of all, you're not supposed to have, but like, what type of, and I know the mental health thing, but it's like, it just looks like this guy is just dumb and then you come back and you say, oh, the media is trying to create stories about you. Dumbass, were you the dumbass? If you paid your damn chef, you wouldn't be in this. First of all, why are you getting a fake vaccination card? That's a felony offense. You go to jail. And then after that, you want to blame the media. You throw a temper tantrum and leave the field. And mind you, you said your ankle was hurt and you were injured, right?
Mm-hmm.
All
Yeah,
right,
it's doing the jumping jacks off the.
And you were doing jumping jacks.
Yeah.
I get it, mental health, but like at some point we gotta just realize this guy's just the idiot and a fucked up individual. Tom Brady is the reason you have a contract and are in the NFL. And you sit there in a podcast and say he needs you? Nigga, fine, the receiving core is banged up. They didn't even need you on the team. They didn't need you.
When did Tom Brady ever really need a receiver? He won a Super Bowl with Wes Welker and Danny Amendola.
Right.
Like, come on.
Right.
What?
I mean, we keep it real.
I would have been
right.
commenting on the I was like, bro, you knew he won a Super Bowl with Danny Amendola and Wes Welker. Like, you're way better than him, Brad. Like, come on, dog. He don't need you to win a Super Bowl. It would have been nice to have you. Makes it a lot easier, but he doesn't need you.
And Tom Brady went out of his way to throw him. Last year, he went out of his way to throw him. Like, I remember the last game, he threw him a couple balls that got him bonuses and incentives. This guy put money in your fucking pocket.
That's what people say about Tom Brady is that type of quarterback. Like, because one, Tom Brady's always been like the quarterback that doesn't take the big money contracts. Like, if anything, give him the O-line he wants. That's where a lot of his teams, like, that's what it was in the Patriots. And he makes sure everybody gets their payday.
He sacrificed for you to be on the team, and this is what you do. You did this to Big Ben, and I'm fine. Big Ben, I feel like he's a selfish guy too sometimes, the way he throws people under the bus. But you did this to Big Ben. You did this to Juju, and fine. Juju was doing TikToks and whatever. So, and some players on the Steelers, Chris, like the Clay Matt was Clay something. I forgot his name.
Chase Claypool.
Claypool that he. It's like you need to stop the clock and you celebrate. Yeah, there's something wrong with the locker room.
No, he was all right that game. He was all right that game.
Okay, yeah, but it's clear that this guy is just a bad dude. Mental health or not, because there are a lot of mental health kids and people that they just have they're trying, but it's really you can tell that it's mental. He's just a bad dude. I don't want to hear it's like you can tell me the mental health, but I really just think he's a terrible human being. Terrell Owens wasn't doing this.
He makes Terrell Owens look like a good person if we keep it a buck. Like, Terrell Owens had his antics, but like Terrell Owens played in the Super Bowl with a broken leg.
Mm-hmm.
It was broken. It was broken. He played with a broken ankle and the fibula bone.
Yeah, like he played with a broken leg. I thought
it was a fracture. Like, was it all the way broken?
Yeah, no, it could have been a fracture. It could have been like a fracture.
I think it was
way.
A fracture.
Okay.
Yeah.
Either way, and he didn't say nothing until after the fact. Like, he played through that whole game because he knew it was up. Like, I mean, one, you always get so many chances to play a Super Bowl. That was the only chance as his career went. But it's like, hey. And I really don't think he had an ankle injury. I think that's all lip service. Like, every NFL player plays injured.
It's bullshit. He wants to change that because he saw how bad the narrative was for him because he walked out with a temper tantrum. And one, if you are hurt and you have an ankle injury and they want to put you, just walk off the field. Just walk off the field. Just walk off the field and get people to help you with your injury. You don't. Like I said, he plays checkers when you should be playing chess. He's an idiot. I'm sorry. Mental health or not, or CTE, I just think he's a fucked up dude.
No, but the biggest thing about him saying the ankle injury and then him, doing the jumping jacks off the field is like most of the time when people are injured, they're like, escorted off and he kind of just went by himself.
So was he? So that begs. Then was he really injured then?
Probably not.
like I said, everybody plays injured. Like, he probably had some type of ankle injury. Like, I'm not going to dismiss that part. But it's just one of those things where it's like, bro, you're not making it look any better. And there was report Big Ben played the whole season injured. Like, there was the articles either this past weekend or last weekend where one of his teams was like, Big Ben can't even tie his own shoes. That's how hurt he is, but he still goes out there and gets his shoes.
Baker Mayfield. Yeah, his shoulder, he separated his shoulder.
And still playing. Well, Baker's playing for a contract, so he needs to play. But you already help yourself. You need to go and try your best.
To be fair, yeah, Baker that's a whole nother topic. But Baker, that's a mountain you got to climb, boy. But like I said, he's a brother, so I'm always gonna say prayers, and hopefully he gets better. How he figures that out. He get.
Hey man, see, I feel like I don't know. It might be part of that CTE stuff too, bro.
100%.
Because like you said earlier, after that Bontes perfect hit, he got hit twice that year, I think, by Vontaze Perfect. Both times, like he was out, if I remember correctly.
Yeah,
but I don't want, like, for me, when I hear mental health, there are people that, like, there are good people that have mental health issues. I don't want that to be the stigma. This guy's just a bad guy with mental health issues.
He was a guy with issues, and then they got exacerbated.
Exactly.
If I use that correctly.
Exactly. That's the perfect description. So, Antonio Brown, prayers to you. I hope you get better. I was gonna give you Bozo of the Week, but there was a candidate that surpassed you, so you're not getting it. But speaking of media and people that they attack, Kyrie Irving was back. Kyrie Irving came back. What do you guys think of Mr. Kyrie balling? Came back balling. First of all, what do you think of him playing? Because there was discussion of prior when we were on a break, there was discussion of, was this a good message to send that an unvaccinated player is playing part-time? And two, what do you think of him coming back playing?
Well, first off, I thought like his whole thing was he wasn't playing until like, I thought it was like his own social justice thing that people were getting laid off, so he wasn't going to get vaccinated or anything like that, because or something like that. Do y'all remember the story? I feel like we talked about it before. And so like now he's back playing and everything's cool and fine, but it's just like, so he was really just waiting for them to let him back in, is what it was this whole time. Was kind of, like, I feel like I feel like we called this already, but it's just like, okay, so you just don't care. You just trying to say anything sound good in that moment. Kind of lost respect for you there, because if even though I didn't necessarily agree with maybe the reason why he was doing it, I still like could appreciate what he was doing because he was standing for what he believed in. But then as soon as they, like they called for him, like, hey man, you can play now. It's cool. He was just like, yes, I will. It's kind of like that. You definitely didn't have anything to. You definitely aren't staying on your own like grounds there. So I don't know. I feel very conflicted about it, or rather, no, I don't feel conflicted about it because I'm not caring that deeply. But it's just like I'm feeling conflicted about Kyrie himself, I guess.
I see there was a lot of report. Well, I don't see it that way specifically. I just think it was more for the people of New York. He was like sticking up for the workers in New York, so he won't play until that. But to me, that falls on deaf ears because it's like, dog, it's like, as much as I get the sentiment of that, that's too big. That's too big of a thing. It's too big. It's too complex. And I really just think he just doesn't want to get the vaccine because
and that's exactly what it was. But he needed a reason to not do it, and he tried to be like, well, that's the reason. I was like, okay, well, at least he's got some type of reasoning behind it, and that was just a lie.
Yeah. So I think Kyrie at this point, I'm cool with him playing part time because at the end of the day, people were trying to make these narratives like he's not a real teammate because he's coming part time, and his teammates will think that like he's not fully invested in the season. But like his teammates know it's COVID and like it's different. The environment, he's not giving up on the team. It's just the environment and what we're going through is going to change things. So his teammates know that. They know that. So it's like, are his teammates really going to be like, man, you're not fully invested? No, we have a virus that's out. It's changing the dynamic of the world, and it's changing how we play basketball now. Not everyone is going to get the vaccine. Like, and yeah, I know that you want that narrative out there, but there are people that don't want to get it, and there's mandates that the NBA can't, that the New York mandate has nothing to do with the NBA. But it's going to change the dynamic of how we play sports. Like even the guy, the tennis guy, he's been under fire. I forgot what he did. We could talk about that.
The guy in Australia?
Yeah.
I think it was something with his passport too, though, or something.
Yeah.
He not vaccinated. In Australia is like you have to be vaccinated to get into the country. So but it's a bigger issue than it's
yeah. So like what I'm trying to say is like how we play sports and how we move, how we do things. Like I gotta take my when I went to see Nas, I had to take my vaccination cards with me. So it's like it's changing how we move in society. So his players know that. So they know that like he's in, but there are barriers to that. But he's still in with us. So I think I'm cool with it as long as they're cool with it and they know what they're gonna do with it. Now, if they'll be champions or if they're favorites now, that changes things because Kyrie can't play home games, period. So their chances of winning a championship, bro. I know everybody was riding the Brooklyn wave and Brooklyn that's this, Brooklyn that's that. The Warriors and the Phoenix Suns, especially the Warriors, it doesn't look too good, man. The Warriors, they're back and they're very dangerous. And Steph Curry has been doing a lot of crazy things. I have made my petty jokes about him, but one thing about Steph Curry is that he is a great basketball player and not a normal human when shooting. I don't think he's from this planet. I think Steph Curry is like, I don't know, he's a cyborg. I don't think he's a normal human. And Klay Thompson, he annoys me the most because in the game that he's not supposed to go off, he just goes off. And they're like, where did this come from? You know what I'm saying? So those two light-skinned brothers in Golden State, very dangerous. And then the other light-skinned brother in
Atlanta?
Not Atlanta. They're not even in the conversation. Don't even do that. Don't even do that. The other light-skinned brother in Phoenix with Chris Paul, they've been playing well. So I'm not sure about the Nets this year. Oh, and guess what? Them boys in Chicago might shock y'all.
Let's not get too crazy now. They good.
Hey. We saw. Listen. Peter, where did we? Hey, yo, we met and we bumped into each other.
Peter. What did you see? Peter. They're playing great. Don't get me wrong. Bulls killing it. Number 1 seed. Congrats. But we all know, come playoff time, that team is going to crumble and fumble and just wilter away. But that's all right. Enjoy it while you have it. I'm with you. Enjoy it while you got it.
Listen.
Let's go Bulls. Let's go Bulls. Let's go Bulls. Let's go Bulls. But come playoff time, when you got to spread the floor because you can't get those mid-range jumpers that you want.
I would say this. When I was watching the game with you, when we were there and I bumped into you, we talked about DeMar's shot selection. That is a problem.
And look, I know what I've seen it firsthand.
Yeah, so that is a concern. But what did you see at the end of the game? Magic.
He hit a tough bucket, and that's cool. That's all right. I'm proud of him. You know, that's my boy.
Give me a second.
Oh, Peter got the Chica's hitting his line. Damn.
Please stop calling.
What happened?
Please.
Oh, he's talking to his brothers. Never mind.
Oh. Bro, put your computer on Do Not Disturb, bro.
Calling me. You can cut this out, or you can keep it. This is comedy.
Nah, keep it.
Yeah, the Bulls.
You're not gonna give Chris more work to do.
Yeah, the Bulls. Watch. I'll just say watch out. But yeah. That's my take on Kyrie. Anything you want to add, Jamal, before I go to Bozo of the Week?
Nah, I mean, I feel like the NBA doesn't really have a problem with whatever's going on with Kyrie because they ever got on the NBA's case. Oh, why can't Kyrie play this, that, and the third? It's like the NBA is not stopping him. It's the state of New York that's stopping him. And even at that, he can only play but so many games. Like I know they've played a couple of games on the West Coast, and that's really what the biggest problems are going to lie is when they do those West Coast road trips, where they have to. Well, really, it's when they go into like California in the Northwest area. Everywhere else, it's like he's free to go. But those places, like you would need to be vaccinated. So, like you said, come finals time, if nothing changes, and he's most likely, I mean, LeBron is a different breed in the playoffs. So it could be, and Kawhi's coming back. So it could be any one of those three teams in California, or it could be the Phoenix Suns. I think they don't really have a like any mandate or anything. So, but if it's one of those teams in California, he might not be able to play in the finals. And that's just how it's going to go unless he gets vaccinated.
I mean, to keep it real with you, bro, the Warriors is probably likely. The Warriors or Phoenix is probably likely to go to the finals.
Hey, look, don't sleep on it. You know LeBron will be playing different in the playoffs. He's going to take a month off with an injury.
Have you seen this team?
He's going to take a month off with the injury. He's going to go in the hyperbolic time chamber and get right. Jesus Christ, here we are.
Brother.
No, hey, but we've seen it before. LeBron
so we've seen this before. I'm not. Listen, age is undefeated, and
yes,
and this is not the same as Russell Westbrook. Russell Westbrook has been abysmal. AD, I don't know if the guy can even put on his shoes without hurting himself. If LeBron can take this Laker team to the finals,
I think he can. No, but that's what I'm saying. Like, just watch because AD's already on his nice little vacation. He's been out for a couple weeks now. Boom, he comes back. He gets all he needs to do is just get them into the playoff with a good position. LeBron's gonna, I'm telling you, late February, early March, LeBron's gonna have some type of injury where he has to be out like 2 or 3 weeks, and then he's gonna be relaxed and be like, all right, bet we gonna make the playoffs, cool. And then come that time, hey, he gonna hoop. They might trade Russ. I think they're gonna trade Russ, but that's neither here nor there.
Listen, I don't.
We shouldn't have Russ. And I know you about to say something, but before I forget, I'm gonna just let Brother Shamar know I haven't watched as much Lakers ball as I should. I'm gonna let you know now. Like we're not doing nothing without LeBron on the court. We're not. I don't feel like because like AD can come back and we'll still have Russ. I don't trust either one of them. I don't.
They're trading Russ. They're trading Russ.
I've watched them play, and first of all, AD does not look like he just looks out of some. He's just not motivated to play. He's not. And then two,
he won a ring. He won his ring. That's all he wanted.
Russell Westbrook is just. He's one of the strangest basketball players I've ever watched. Like, he's really good, but really clumsy at the same time. And it just keeps and him and LeBron don't know how to really mesh together. And LeBron is doing too much for his age that I don't think he can do. If he listen, he could fine. He could get them out the first round. Probably will. When he meets the Warriors, he meets Phoenix. He bumps into the Clippers. If he bumps into the Clippers with Paul George and Kawhi is there or not, that he could make his way out. I don't think the Lakers could sweep them low key.
It also depends on the COVID situation at that time too, because these teams switching out players like crazy. You're gonna have some dude you never heard of be your starting point guard in the NBA Finals.
That's true. That's true. I mean, all of this is like, but I'm off the Laker ship.
Hold on, wait. Here's a little conspiracy theory. I think the NBA gave some of these players COVID. Just because, think about it now, you don't have to worry about it for the half of the second half of the season. You don't have to worry about nobody missing no games because of COVID. Just saying, it could happen. That's what I would do. But hey, y'all gonna get sick now, so we ain't gotta worry about this shit later.
We'll start a segment called Conspiracy Theory Shamar.
Hey, I always got no, but think about it, it's like in the chicken pox, like when not when you're probably when you're pantry younger, it's like it's like one kid, like it used to be a thing, like one kid never had chicken pox, like they would try to get all the little other kids to get it. So just like, all right, you get out the way now, so you don't got to worry about it the rest of your life.
Mm-hmm.
It could be the same deal. I'm just saying, magically, all the superstars start getting COVID around the same time.
Yeah. So,
same thing in the NFL.
Yeah. I mean, we'll see how this plays out. Kyrie, I just hope that it just sucks that these mandates and Kyrie, because he's good. He showed out. He really played well when he came back. Played very well. So
he should be real well rested.
Yeah.
But yeah. He's out there protesting and whatnot.
Yeah. So, but off of that, I'm gonna move on to the Bozo of the week. The Bozo of the week, I'm gonna be reading some stuff. Bozo of the week goes to Myron Gaines and Walter Weeks from the Fresh and Fit podcast. Now I'm giving them Bozo of the week. We've talked about this issue here, and I've had my own gripes, and I've said things, I've made jokes and stuff, but they're getting Bozo of the week for their disrespect of Black women. Now, I get it. You can have a preference. Everybody has a preference for what they like in anything, right? Mm-hmm. But there's a way you say things, especially when you're on a public platform, and especially if you have Black women on your public platform. Now, I'm going to read this. I'll read this excerpt that I think the Games guy said this. Hey, bro, if you want to date a bunch of Shaniquas, go for it. Me and Fresh aren't really down with the Brown like that. Being Knight Riders. Being Knight Riders. Sometimes if they're red bone, but I mean, in general, me and Fresh don't dabble in the dark. If you know what I mean. Now, I did laugh at some of these jokes. Because I've been told some of these jokes. But as a man, going at a female like this and then saying you prefer red bone women, this is why Black women don't feel protected.
And that's why Dan Lay felt like she could make that song.
This right here is pushing like that agenda that light-skinned women are better than dark. You could have just said, hey, I just like white women. I just don't, I don't mesh well with Black women. You didn't have to even say dark-skinned women. You could have just said, hey, I just don't, I just don't date. Like I say, I don't date white women. My personality, you know what I'm saying? I'm not going to go and say that they're mayonnaise beings. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's just politically incorrect. You know what I'm saying?
There's a lot of way they could have went to that, like through that, saying like, hey, like you said, like we just haven't really like found Black women that we're like been cohesive with, and we found partners that we've been closer with through other races or whatever, or because like as soon as you start putting like idioms like dark meat or red bone into it, it instantly becomes like a colorist thing.
Yeah, and it's that same narrative that like, well, if they light skin, yeah, but if they dark like Peter, like, nah. And it's like especially with women, right? And I've had my thing with the guys on the other side. Why would you say this about women? Anytime people go at women, I look at you as the ultimate sucker. Ultimate, like you could have like just leave it like we don't date Shaniquas.
See, and that too, man. Like
come on,
they just trying to pull out whatever stereotype they thought was funny at that time. They're like, well, we're Black, so we can say that, and that's not how that works.
Now I get the Knight Riders and we don't dabble in the dark. Those are to say it to a guy. I feel like it's different and maybe it's wrong, and I should change my ways. But if they said that to me, I would have laughed. But to say that to a woman, I just feel like that's some weak. What sucker?
Wait, they said this directly to like another woman's face?
No, they were saying it in regards to the woman. Like it was like they were just talking about their preferences. They were talking about the BLK app and how they feel about that app, and then they said all this stuff. But yeah, like you're spreading this dumb narrative, and you could have just shut your mouth and just said, "Hey, I just don't date black women. I've dated other races, and I've connected more with them." And then don't have to go on a foolish apology saying everybody can have a preference. Why is it when we want to have a preference, we can't have a preference? You can have a preference, but you don't have to be disrespectful, dummies.
Yeah, no, because I feel like we've talked, well, maybe like off camera, but it's just like if somebody grows up in like a predominantly white neighborhood, chances are they're going to be, like attracted to like white people. It just like that just makes sense. Like it's not even like, well, I go out my way to not talk to black women or I do this, that, and other. Just like that's just what you know. That's what you're comfortable with. That's what a lot of people do. Like,
Yeah.
hey, it is what it is. That's fine.
Yeah, and I'm giving them bozo of the week because I just this narrative is just annoying. And one of the guys that said this, I think he's black, but he's like I think Middle Eastern a bit. But he was more passionate than the black guy and was saying like I was just like, yo, dog. When it comes to black women, I don't pay no disrespect to black women, especially dark skinned black women, because they go through it even more than us dark skinned men. I feel like the most disrespected people in the world are dark skinned women.
Probably.
You know what I'm saying? So sound effects could go to them. Shamar, any thoughts?
No, I mean you kind of hit the nail on the head. I think that's really some sucky shit. That's why you always say, even if it's not true, you always say you're a man of the people. Like no matter what like race you like, just say I like it all. Then they can't be like, oh, well, if he likes it all, then like, you can't really hate a certain group of people, But they went and told what their actual truth was, and I think you can't really fault them for what they like Chris said, because it just depends on where you grew up and stuff. But it's the way you go about saying that's where I think the big issue comes in. They did not say what they felt correctly. They just said whatever came to their mind first. And like, no, with stuff like that, you have to like kind of articulate it in a way where it's like, you're not trying to like put anybody down, but you're not trying to tell any lies to people.
Yeah. There's so many ways, but it's like he chose to be disrespectful because a black woman probably ain't give him nothing, no time of day. Like I just don't get it. Like the Shaniqua part is what pissed me off more.
Yeah.
It's like, dog, don't do that. Don't do that. Don't play with people's names and stereotype off names. Don't do that. I'm African. Like I hate when people look at our names and start like stereotyping us that we're like uncivilized and stuff. Don't do that. But you get the sound effects again. I'm not even going to say your name. I'm going to say the Fools and Fit podcast. Yeah, they get the sound effects this week. Moving on, huh?
So they get a double.
Yeah, a double. Well, moving on. We're gonna do this or that. I had one for. I'm gonna say all of them, but the one is specifically for Avery. I'll say it here, but actually, before I get into the first one, I'm gonna say, Chris, you watched Spider-Man.
I did.
What'd you think?
Thought it was great. Had a lot of unexpected turns in there that I didn't realize that was happening, which I appreciate. How far are we actually getting into this? I don't know. I don't want to say nothing I'm not supposed to yet.
Do you think we should go, or do you think we should go on with a conversation? Or you want to wait for Avery?
We can wait for Avery because he's seen it, right?
Yeah, Avery's seen it. All right, we can.
We can wait for Avery.
Okay, we'll talk about the movie when Avery's here. But speaking of Marvel characters, my first this or that. Iron Man or Batman? Who you picking?
With prep time?
Huh?
I said with prep time. No, it's okay. It's a Batman joke. Okay, every time somebody be like, "Well, such and such can be Batman," then they'll be like, "Can they be with prep time?" So because Batman can always prepare for everybody. But uh, I'm gonna say Batman.
Batman. Okay.
Batman.
But
I
I
would
don't
go
know though.
Iron Man myself.
Say Iron Man.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's, I don't know.
can't go.
Like,
I don't
are we
think you
talking
can go
about like?
wrong.
Are we talking about strictly like movie?
Just well, it could. Well, I'm gonna let you pick your criteria because
I'm just saying strictly movie. That
okay.
way
If you
it's
want to go
easy.
strictly,
Oh, strictly movie, then definitely Iron Man.
Yeah,
if it's strictly movie, um, if it's strictly movie, I'll probably go Iron Man.
But y'all saw what he did with prep time. He asked Superman, "Does he bleed?" And he bled him. Y'all seen that?
But if I had to pick, if it's on a broader scale of things, I'd pick Batman because that Batman animated series is goated.
Yeah, that is dope.
And some of the Batman. Oh, which one was it? The Dark Knight.
Mm-hmm.
Classic.
Wait, is the Dark Knight the one with Bane?
That's the one with the Joker.
Okay.
Okay.
The Joker.
Okay.
Classic.
I can never remember the title names.
Yeah, but then the next one after is the one with Bane. I don't know the title of that one. I just know the next one is Bane.
I think the next one the Dark Knight.
No, the Dark Knight is the one with the Joker.
Oh.
Yeah, I was about to say that. You said that was the first one. Are they both the Dark Knight?
My brain. No, I'm thinking. No, I remember one of them. There was a shooting. Remember, there was like a shooting and like a Joker. Some dude, some white guy that was like kind of looked like Joker, shot up the
Yeah, that was after the first one. That was when the Dark Knight came out.
Okay. Well,
Dark Knight.
If it's overall, I'll probably pick Batman. If it's just based off movies, Iron Man by like a hair. Because homie that plays Tony Starks, he really bodies that role.
Mm-hmm.
Bodies the hell out of that role. He actually made, as at first, Iron Man wasn't like a flagship hero, like mainstream wise. It was for Marvel, but mainstream wise, Iron Man wasn't seen like that. I think he's made Iron Man like big.
Yeah, no, like if you like back before then, like you never really heard anybody talking about like Iron Man unless they were like, like deep into like the comics or like they were an Avengers fan and they already just knew who he was from like probably like I think there was an Avengers TV show back then. And there was like an old Iron Man TV show back when we was probably like before we were born, probably.
Yeah.
I think it was like early 90s. Early 90s.
Okay.
And so like if you didn't know those, you probably weren't really rocking with Iron Man like that. But as soon as the movies come out, everybody wants to be Iron Man.
Yeah. Or if you're Ghostface Killer.
Oh yeah.
He calls himself Tony Stark's Iron Man. But
I might take Iron Man 2 though.
Overall?
Just cause I'm talking about like strictly like the movies, like he had like Iron Man 3, he had all those suits. He gonna send all those suits at at Bruce Wayne and be like, "What's up? I killed you from remote."
I'm gonna watch Iron Man 3 tonight.
Oh, you never seen it before?
No, so like here's the thing.
Oh, my fault.
No, it's just okay. I'm not one of those that because it's a pass. It's not like
it's sorry. It's the worst Iron Man out of the three. It's the worst one.
Yeah. So when the first like phase of the Marvel movies came out, I wasn't in the country.
No.
So I only started getting into the Avengers movie Civil War came out.
Oh, so
Really?
when you seen it with us?
Yeah,
I
like
didn't-
caught like Frostburg days.
Civil War. I watched. No, actually, I watched. I was funny thing about that. Like y'all went, but I went with what's his name? That guy's Richie and Avery. I went with those two.
Gotcha.
But they did tell me that you guys were watching it at around the same time. But yeah, that's when I got into it. But I didn't really I didn't maybe it's me kind of being like oblivious, but I wasn't privy to the Marvel thing and the Marvel movies. So now I'm going back to watch everything and just catch up and stuff. Yeah. A lot of movies I didn't know. So
Gotcha.
I'm going to watch a movie. But
So like so far you haven't seen none of them before Civil War?
I probably done glimpse, like the Avengers movie. I had like a glimpse of it. I watched it partially. Winter Soldier, I watched part of it. Didn't finish it. No,
if you want to, there's a good stretch of time. They were just like coming on TV a lot.
That's what I was. I see them on TV, and I watch the Guardians of
the Galaxy.
Like I watched bits and parts of it here and there. But I haven't fully sat down and just watched it thoroughly to understand how they connect. That's what I'm trying to do, and that's why I think the next one I'm about to say, Loki, is a BAN. That's bigger. But next, the next one.
Shaking my head.
The next one, Loki or Two-Face from Batman.
Which one's a better villain or what?
Probably better villain.
See, this is why you gotta watch everything.
Yeah.
You gotta watch everything. If we just talking for a villain, it's Two-Face. Man, PD suck, man. Yeah, you gotta watch everything. Because Loki's you're only on, if you're about to watch Iron Man 3, then after that is, I believe, what, is it Winter Soldier?
Yeah, it is.
Iron Man
3. If you're going on the timeline, it should be Winter Soldier. So you don't you get this Loki sucks. In the beginning he sucks. You get a lot better. And you really learn a lot about Loki.
So you say the better.
But have you seen that short series with Loki yet?
No.
Okay, so yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I know he's an anti. I watched the second Thor movie, so he's kind of an anti-hero.
Which one was the second? That's the Thor: The Dark World. No, you got to watch Ragnarok. That's when Loki really
I watched that one
starts
too. I think I watched that one too. I watched that with you and Gerard. Yeah, I watched that one with Chris. Okay, so
yeah, but that's when Loki really start. That's when you realize Loki is not a villain. He's a villain, but he's not a villain.
All right.
I'm gonna just say he's like that one kid that acts out, but he acts out for attention, not because he's just bad.
Yeah, and then it's only perceived that way because a misdeed to a god versus a misdeed to a mortal, two different things.
Okay,
this is true.
All right, I'll keep watching, and I may change my mind on Loki, but as of right now, from what I watch,
he's a BIN to you. Oh, BAN.
And he has some. I was
did it on purpose.
He has some emotional traits that are very weak. Very weak. But yet again,
just say he acts light skinned. Just say it, because I know that's what you really wanted to say. Mm-hmm. He be acting light skinned, but he's not light skinned.
I promise you, dog. If you had seen the rest of this stuff with Loki, you'd have a different opinion of him. But I'm not saying that you like him, but you definitely want to put him against Two-Face.
I probably don't. Two-Face is misunderstood too, but that's a whole different
thing. Yeah.
But next, let's.
Oh wait, well we never said our people for.
My bad. I think I still go Two-Face. I think Two-Face is better villain.
I'm gonna say Loki.
Ooh, just as a villain. I rock with Loki. Okay. I don't really like Two-Face that much if I keep it above the team.
Two-Face was always in the animated series and in the movie they did back in the day. I like very weird to look at him from in a human perspective. The cartoon is weird in a way, but the human one, I was like, oh, dog, they really did that.
Yeah.
But yeah, all right. You know what? We'll end with the music. So this is the one I was gonna ask Avery, but I want to ask y'all. Y'all may be hip to this or may not. Harry Potter or Lord of the Rings.
Mm.
Harry Potter, because I've only seen one Harry Potter. I've seen zero Lord of the Rings.
I was very
Good
hip
answer.
to
Good answer.
I watched 2 Harry Potter movies. I watched 1 Lord of the Rings movie. The second Harry Potter movie I liked a lot, so I'm gonna go Harry Potter.
I think I've seen. Well, I haven't seen all the Lord of the Rings stuff because they had some prequel stuff come out a few years ago. I didn't watch that. I think, but I watched the Lord of the Rings, and I think I watched all the Harry Potters. I'm not 100% on that now that I say it out loud, but I feel like I had. And I would still say Harry Potter because that was just like I connected with that more because he was a kid and I was a kid, as opposed to like that semi confusing story when I was a kid watching Lord of the Rings at somebody's at like my cousin's house or whatever, and I wasn't able to follow it really at all as a kid.
All right. Okay. So that's Avery. We're gonna ask you. We'll ask Avery when he comes back. But all right, next one. Since we
Maybe we're
talked
gonna say
about
Harry
one,
Potter. I'm
yeah,
calling it.
yeah, he probably gonna say Harry Potter. Actually, well, because I remember back in college. Well, we'll talk about that. But we talked about Wayne and JC, so I made all right. The Carter 3 or the Blueprint.
Mm.
Mm,
Carter 3 because that was that at one point in time that was like my favorite thing to listen to.
yeah.
This is too hard for me. So when the Carter 3 came out, made this shit. Not even what the fuck. Dog, I'm gonna tell you this. When the Carter 3 was about to come out,
Mm-hmm.
I was fiending for this. I was downloading every freestyle that Wayne was doing. I was downloading every song that he was putting out at the time, featuring everything.
Mm-hmm.
You would have thought I was a Lil Wayne like disciple.
Hey, you weren't the only one. No, wait. What
Like,
what year was that?
oh wait,
Oh wait.
Yeah, that's like middle school.
middle.
Yeah, you
This
weren't
is
the only
yeah, middle
one. You
school.
weren't the only one.
Yeah, yeah. This is when I was in 8th grade. Dog, I was fiending for this album. So when I was fiending for it so much that when I heard Lollipop, I was
Mm-hmm.
mad because I wanted him to rap, and I
Mm-hmm.
was like, nah, I don't want this. What are you doing here? Then I
Hey
heard him
man,
hit
I
it.
drank the juice. I was all in. I used to go on. I used to go on datpiff.com because like you could find like a bootleg version of the album on there, and I think I had found it on there. Not that I downloaded it because I was scared it was going to get my computer virus. Little did I know it gave my computer viruses anyway, just going on the website. Um, but yeah, no, I definitely was like listening to it like over and over again during that time period, just because like that was also like part of like Wayne's like reign, like
That
his.
was when he was like people. I remember at the time I was following him so much. People thought he was gonna do like 2 million in 1 week. Like he was so scorching hot. So like the anticipation for this, I wanted it. So like, and the Blueprint, mind you, when it came out, I was a kid, but my dad used to play the album, and I used to listen to the album anytime. Like when he passed, like I had a case of CDs, and
Mhm.
the Blueprint was like the album I listened to like every like when I was about to go on the plane to London, I was listening to the Blueprint. Right, so But then the anticipation for the Carter 3 was crazy. So, like, I'll say this. The Blueprint, to me, is a better album. But I was more excited for the Carter 3. So I'll probably go Blueprint. But I think Blueprint is a little bit better of an album. But Carter 3, oh my God. Oof, man. That time, man, it's different, man. But yeah, I'm going to have to go Blueprint. But next songs, Millie or PSA?
What's PSA? What?
The one on.
That's the one that was on 2K.
Okay. Yeah.
It's just the OB.
I used to sell a lot of OZ back then.
I'm gonna say PSA just because I got tired of email after a while. And though I tell you, and part of the reason I got tired of it is because like at first I was obsessed with it, and so I listened to like every single freestyle there was of it, and then after a while I was just like, wow, these are trash. Yo, ain't nobody really doing it like they supposed to, and I was just like, I hate this now. Well, not that I hate the song, but I got tired of it.
I was kind of like you, Chris. When Millie dropped, that's all I wanted to hear. I'm a millionaire. I'm a young money millionaire. Tougher than millionaire. I knew that whole song like it was the Bible. So like memorizing, but after a while, and this is like 2-3 years later, it just got to the point. I was like, okay, it's kind of played out now. But I still, if it comes out, if I hear it on the radio or I hear it like on my like phone and it makes like a shuffle, I love it. But PSA, that's an anthem. I'm gonna pick PSA.
Yeah, because even like the little bit right there we said was on 2K, and then one of y'all was just humming the beat. I forget which one of y'all was doing. I was just like, oh, it's that song.
Ace to the OV. I used to OZ. That is like when you hear PSA, it's like
I need to start committing more like song names to memory. I be definitely forgetting too much.
You're not alone, Chris. But Shema, what would you go, Melly or PSA?
I guess I'm gonna join in the group. Kind of on the same thing that Chris said. It's just after a while, Millie was just like, yeah, that shit. It's a great song, you know, but damn, did they overplay the fuck out of that shit. PSA was dope because that was probably one of the best 2K. So it was like, all right.
2K13?
Mm-hmm.
Hands down.
Yeah.
My favorite one ever. But yeah, I agree with y'all there. PSA, but it's still a classic. That was a time period. Boy. Oh, but since we're in the year 2022, and 20 years ago was 2002, I picked two R&B, kind of R&B song. Well, one is a certified R&B song. One is considered pop and R&B. Cry Me a River or You Don't Have to Call.
You Don't Have to Call. Not even a contest for me.
Mar?
You don't have to call just because it's more upbeat.
Bro, y'all know I don't listen to no Justin Timberlake. I've said that on here. I'm like, I'm gonna listen, and I never will. That's my one thing.
I know Joey kind of overhypes it. Well, he doesn't overhype him. He just overfans him. And I know it could be exhausting listening to him fan out about something. But Justin's like that. I'm gonna be. But the Cry Me a River beats better, but you don't have to call. I saw you perform. You don't have to call. You don't have to call. Yeah, that's it for this or that. That's officially our first episode of the year. It's good to be back, right, fellas?
Mm-hmm.
Good to be back. Well, this year got a lot planned, and yeah, we're gonna be.
We got a lot of new stuff planned for y'all. Got a few new segments, you know, potentially in the works, guests and stuff and whatnot.
Definitely guests.
Yeah, we dropped the ball this past year on guests for like for forever.
Yeah, I
But
mean,
we're going, knock on wood, pick that back up.
yeah, in the fourth quarter last year, yeah, we dropped the ball.
Say, man, honestly, you could say even in the third quarter, bro. It was like halfway third quarter, we got this, and I was just like, nah, we good.
Yeah.
We straight.
But shout out to Suave, my cousin. He did us a favor for like coming on here at the time.
Yeah.
Actually, I did his podcast. He said he said he's gonna drop it today, but I'm guessing he's still editing. Did a whole panel, like we did a whole like kind of like a panel talking about last year and everything. So when that comes out, check that out. Talking hip hop from last year. And he has the top 50 albums he did. I'll send it to y'all if y'all want to see. But yeah, so we'll have more guests on. We'll do more this year. There'll be big changes coming for sure. But that's it for the show. We love you. We will be on Apple Podcasts as usual, Spotify as usual, and every other podcasting platform. Also, we'll be on YouTube at 3:15 Eastern Time. Now, last 2 weeks ago, there was a technical issue, and we didn't communicate that. So sorry if you didn't see a video. There was an episode for the last year episode. You can check that out and see what we said about 2021 and our views on the year 2021.
Yeah.
We didn't really promote that well. Sorry, guys.
Peter was bald and everything for it. He was bald.
Yeah, I was bald. I'm not bald anymore.
He corrupted the file. Don't let him give you some spew. He didn't want people to see that nugget. No, it's not the same. Put that shit back on. It's not the same. We know you're bald, but it's not the same. It's not the same. Now it just looks like you got a little dust on your head.
like B-Rod said, don't be hating.
Ain't nobody hating on you. I've been said I said the same thing last time. Ain't nobody hating. I'm just saying. He literally took a spray can and sprayed his head.
I'm gonna tell a little funny story. So when I saw Shamar, and I think he knows what I'm about to say, we saw these two girls wearing these Bulls. We saw these two girls wearing these Bulls attire, and I saw them about to go get food, and I was like, "Oh, so they were asking us, oh, if we're in line," and I was like, "Nah, we're not in line." And then I was like, "Oh, so y'all Bulls fans?" And they didn't even acknowledge my existence. And then my man Shamar said, "Yeah, Peter, just wait for your hair to grow, man. It's not the time." I'm like, "Yeah, man. Yeah."
It's fun. They weren't that cute anyways. It
was funny. It was funny.
For your hair to grow.
That's hilarious. That's a little funny story when I saw Shamar. But you can catch me at Kofi Peter. The Pita is spelled Pita, and Peter Kofi on Twitter. Chris?
You can catch me at Everybody Loves Chris on IG, and on Twitter is BigChris_57.
Shamar!
I'm not going to tell you on my social. I've been told y'all too many times. I ain't saying it. But if you have a problem with what I have to say this weekend or this week, pick it up. Speak to my managers at Alderberg, OUTOFBURG. That's it, right?
Yeah, actually, I forgot to plug that. So yeah, plug that.
No, I'm only plugging it because if you don't like what I have to say, you can message them about all the tomfoolery I said, and they'll deal with it. They'll let me know.
Okay. So if you want to complain to Shamar about, whatever you want to complain to him about, also check out our content on Out of the Berg on IG and Out of the Berg Pod on Twitter. We will be making announcements there, and we will be doing polls and the rest. So if you do have a grievance with Shamar, you can say it in there. I don't think you should. Well, if you do, just tell them to stop hating on my Bulls. But
ain't nobody hating on the Bulls.
Like I say all the time, stay woke, stay black, stay safe. We love you.
Bye. Thank you for tuning in to another episode of the Out of the Break podcast. We're available on all podcasting platforms, and we ask that you like, comment, share, and subscribe, as well as hit that notification bell. That way you'll be notified whenever we release a new video. And as always, we like you, we love you, but we gotta go. Bye.